Michael stepped into the apartment, its emptiness echoing around him. Dust motes danced in the pale light filtering through grimy windows. The air hung heavy with the scent of stale cigarettes and forgotten memories. He had chosen this place for its affordability, ignoring the peeling wallpaper and the persistent drip from the bathroom faucet. It was a fresh start, he told himself, a chance to rebuild his life. The previous tenant had left in a hurry, leaving behind a few pieces of furniture too cumbersome to move. Among them was a large, ornately framed mirror propped against the far wall of the bedroom. Its gilded frame was tarnished with age, and the glass held a cloudy, almost opaque quality. Michael considered moving it, but something about its presence held him back. It seemed to belong there, a silent sentinel in the otherwise vacant room. The first night, exhaustion claimed him quickly. He slept soundly, oblivious to the city noises that filtered through the thin walls. But the second night, a sound stirred him from his sleep. A soft, rhythmic tapping like fingernails gently rapping against glass. He sat up in bed, heart pounding, and stared into the darkness. The tapping came again, faint but insistent. He realized it was coming from the bedroom mirror. Hesitantly, Michael got out of bed and walked towards the mirror. As he drew closer, he thought he saw a flicker of movement in the glass, a shadow indistinct and fleeting. He raised his hand, his fingers hovering just inches from the cold, smooth surface. The shadow seemed to mimic his movement, a dark reflection just beyond the reach of his understanding. He told himself it was a trick of the light, a figment of his tired imagination. The following nights followed a similar pattern. The tapping would start, always at the stroke of 3 a.m., followed by the appearance of the shadow in the mirror. Each time the shadow grew more defined, taking on a vaguely human shape. It stood in the reflection, shrouded in darkness, its form elongated and distorted. Michael tried to ignore it, tried to convince himself it was simply his mind playing tricks on him, but the fear was a living thing, twisting in his gut, tightening its grip with each passing night. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched, that something malevolent was observing him from the other side of the glass. Sleep became a distant memory, replaced by a constant, gnawing dread. He knew he should get rid of the mirror, throw it away, smash it to pieces. But something held him back, a morbid fascination that was as terrifying as it was compelling. The figure in the mirror grew more distinct. It was undoubtedly human-shaped now, though its features remained obscured. One night, as Michael lay in bed, frozen by terror, he realized what it resembled most: a mannequin. Its limbs were elongated and oddly jointed, its head tilted at an unnatural angle. And it was getting closer. Each night it seemed to take a step closer to the surface of the mirror. He tried to cover the mirror, to shield himself from its gaze. But every attempt to touch the glass was met with an icy resistance. It was as if an invisible barrier separated him from the mirror. The tapping grew more insistent, louder, as if the entity beyond the glass sensed his fear. Then one night, the tapping ceased. Michael lay in bed, heart pounding, dreading what would come next. He heard a scraping sound, followed by a heavy thud. He opened his eyes and screamed. The mirror, once leaning against the far wall, now stood at the foot of his bed. The mannequin was gone.